Hunter's federal probe may be gaining steam, but you won't hear anything about it in the press. They know that Biden's family could crumble pretty soon, especially with these new revelations. We're finding out today the Biden family received direct payments from Chinese oligarchs linked, to the highest level of the Chinese Communist Party. And this time, they can't spin this as Russia disinformation. Senators Johnson and Grassley have the receipts showing a direct $100,000 wire from a Chinese energy company called CEFC directly into the bank account of Hunter Biden's law firm. No middleman, clean transaction. Later, the same sketchy Chinese energy company wired out $1 million to another company Hunter was invested in, Hudson West 3. So Hunter took those $1 million and wired it to his law firm. So Hunter's just transferring dirty Chinese money between his two companies. But this wouldn't be Hunter's first time with CEFC. Remember that 3-carat diamond? That was a gift from the same company. Now, CEFC claims that Hunter was giving legal protection to the owner of CEFC, Patrick Ho, who's now in prison. I didn't know Hunter was a criminal defense attorney. Oh, wait, he's not. So what was he doing with all that money, representing this guy? All the while, CEFC, you know what they do? They're a front for China's Belt and Road Initiative. It's like the biggest threat to America right now. Wow. And it's not just Hunter. Joe's brother, James, was in knee-deep, just about at the same level. According to Senator Johnson, he was taking phone calls from the owner of CEFC around the same time Hunter got the $1 million wire. So Uncle Jim was involved and Hunter was involved, and we're hearing that his company also received wires from the Chinese. Those details are coming out soon. But the bigger story goes beyond Jim and Hunter. Goes all the way to the top, to the big guy. We know that Joe and Hunter's finances are intertwined. Emails from the laptop from hell showed us that Hunter's business partners at Rosemont Seneca filed Joe's taxes. Why were H&R Block filing Joe's tax returns? Why was Hunter's people doing it? They were paying for renovations at Biden's Delaware home. Why? And even paying for Joe's private phone bill while he was vice president. Why? Why was Hunter and his people doing that? Hunter's even on record complaining about having to pay Joe's bills. Not me. The New York Times confirmed this is all true. And what about the credit card that was funding Hunter's wild nights at the Chateau Marmont? Remember where Hunter was paying prostitutes and learning how to cook crack? That credit card was linked to, quote, Celtic's account. You know who Celtic is? It's Joe. That was his Secret Service code name. One of the Secret Service agents texted Hunter and said, hey, this is going down. Look, this is linked to his account. So is it even a question of whether Joe Biden's compromised? The facts are right there. And now that the feds are narrowing down on Hunter for these tax crimes, can we be so sure that Joe won't kind of place his thumb on the scales of justice? Very tempting. Jonathan Turley is a George Washington law professor, and he's here tonight. So what do you make about these wires? And do you think that the president could be worried about this?
Well, of course he's worried about it. The laptop that they found from Hunter is basically a step-by-step description of one of the biggest influence peddling schemes in history. I mean, the fact is that influence peddling has been a Biden family business for a long time. They have been rather notorious and open about it. I mean, the Fords are known for cars and the Coors are known for beer, and the Bidens are known for influence peddling, and it's an entire family affair. And what's interesting about this is how raw and open it is. You have to keep in mind that when these companies are sending Hunter Biden, all of this money, he described himself during this period as a hopeless addict, someone who was just stumbling through life in a narcotic haze. So by his own book, account, he wasn't capable of doing much of anything. So the question then is, why are people wiring him $1 million? Why would someone like Ho, who's a hair's breadth away from an indictment, send him $1 million? Someone who doesn't do criminal defense work and by his own book seemed incapable of most anything. And the answer is obvious, and it's always been the answer with many of the Bidens, from James Biden to Hunter Biden, and that is influence peddling. But what's really troubling is this commingling of funds and references to Joe Biden. Joe Biden has already been contradicted by witnesses. He said he knew nothing of these deals. He had no involvement. Those statements are now facially contradicted by witnesses. And yet, the Attorney General has refused to appoint a special counsel. You can't drill very deeply on this without hitting references to Celtic or the big guy, code names used for President Biden. And his own Justice Department is tasked with this investigation.
They have to appoint a special counsel. It's the right thing to do. Will they do it? Probably not, but it's the only way you're going to get fair and impartial justice here. Jonathan Turley, thank you so much for